Today we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna show you what a day is like on one of my favorite days, closing day. I have a closing scheduled today for a 3-unit building in Maywood where I work with the seller. We've been working to get this building sold for 6 straight months. Let me give you a quick backstory on it. I honestly can't even remember when we first put the building on the market. I want to say it was either September or October of last year. But when we did put the building on the market, we ended up getting multiple offers right away because, well, I know what I'm doing. And we ended up getting a buyer to sign a purchase agreement. Once that agreement was signed, the buyer then decided to get their contractor out. And once their contractor took a look at the work that needed to be done, they decided to hand us a letter saying that we needed to drop the price by $50,000, otherwise they were backing out of the deal. I then met with my seller and we decided that it was better that we put the property back on the market because once again we had multiple offers, so let's see what else we can get. Once we did that, we once again received multiple offers and we then went with the buyer that we felt was the most serious. So my seller isn't going to be at the closing because nowadays most sellers aren't at the closing at all anyways. They just have their attorneys take care of that. But the seller still has to take some paperwork to the village of Maywood. Now they aren't going to be able to do that today, but we want this deal to close once again in a timely fashion and we do not want to delay the closing which was scheduled for today. So I'm going to go meet my seller, pick up the paperwork, as well as pick up the keys and put the keys at the property so the buyer can then come and pick up the keys once everything is done with the closing. So now if you can follow me while I make these rounds to make sure that everything closes, the buyer gets their keys and my seller gets their money. Alright, first stop is to my seller's home to pick up all the paperwork as well as the keys. Also got my lockbox here ready. What I'm going to do, since we're not going to be at the closing, I'm just going to take the keys from my seller, put it in this lockbox and leave it on the door of the building so the buyer can just pick it up once they leave closing. And here we go. Take a look at this beautiful 3-unit brick building in Maywood. I work with the sellers for this one. This one just sold for $300,000. Let's take a look at the inside of the vacant unit. And as you can see, the unit is in pretty good move-in ready condition. Now, it does need some updates. The carpet is a little bit older, but the buyers, they showed up with their construction team, so I'm pretty sure they're going to give this place a nice facelift. And once they do that, it's going to generate some good monthly income for them. Now this unit, two of the units actually are 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, and the unit in the lower level is 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. So this building is going to generate some good rental income for them. And it has pretty much good bones, and like I said before, it really just needs that quick cosmetic facelift, and once you do that, you'll be good to go. Alright, we got the paperwork, we got the lockbox set up. Now let's head to City Hall and probably wait 2 or 3 hours and get this paperwork signed so we can make sure to get this property closed. Whew, well, looks like I jinxed myself. Not only was I at City Hall for about 2 hours, on top of that, the village wouldn't actually sign the paperwork needed because, well, long story short, they said they weren't ready. So at this point, I'm afraid that we're not gonna close, but thankfully the attorneys were able to do something called a dry closing, which basically means that they're gonna hold some money back until the seller is able to take care of what they need to take care of at City Hall. So I still get my check. We were able to close, but there's still a little bit more work that needs to be done before my seller can get their money. The buyer was able to get their keys and they were able to pick up their keys from the lockbox, so at least everything went fine on that side of the transaction. But once again, the seller just has some more work to be done before they can fully get all of their proceeds. And of course, to add more insult to injury, my tenant actually calls me and tells me that the carbon monoxide is going off. She told me that it first started beeping last night, but now it's just constantly alarming, and she's afraid because it's carbon monoxide. So in my mind, I'm thinking it's most likely the battery died because I know the battery makes noises once it's low and once it's dying. But I mean, the other option is that there really is a carbon monoxide leak and she needs to get out of that place immediately. So she told me she was going to leave anyway, so I told her go ahead and leave and I'll check out the property just to make sure everything's safe. So while I'm out, I figured I might as well stop by the store and pick up some batteries real quick and pray that this is all that is wrong and I don't have a carbon monoxide leak and have to worry about repairing or replacing a furnace. Just in case you're wondering how that ended, yep, the battery just needed to be changed. So went up there, changed the battery, convinced my tenant that she wasn't gonna die in her sleep, and all is good in the world. Alright, now that I'm done with all of that, there's still some work I have to do. Now, it's great that I finally got this building to close and the check's gonna come in the mail, but I still have to make sure that I get some new business down the road. I try to reach out to at least 5 people a day who are interested in real estate, whether it's buying real estate or selling, and then just to once again let them know that I'm here to help them out with any real estate questions, and once again to stay top of mind. That way when they are ready to use a realtor, I'm the first person they think of. Now, if you're looking to buy real estate for the first time and you're not quite sure how much money you need to save up in order to buy, check out my video which will help you estimate how much money you need to save in order to buy a home. I'll make sure to put the link in the description for you.